Hey guys, welcome back to the all-inclusive Mega Man Marathon. Last time we took a look at Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy, and it definitely looked like something solid for early 90s handheld gaming. This time we're going to be looking at Mega Man 3, and it definitely improves upon the last game. Looking at the charge shot, it takes up the whole screen practically, as opposed to the NES version, which just takes up the body of Mega Man. But let's get into this game, and let's see just how good it is. First, a correction. Let me correct that I said that Gemini Laser was in the last game and was the worst weapon of that game, and I feel like an idiot because I was going to rage about it being a terrible weapon here, but whatever, let's just get into the meat potatoes of this game. That is, if the meat was lean chuck, and the potatoes only had about a teaspoon of gravy on them. Essentially, Game Boy Mega Man 3 doesn't have much substance. We start off with yet another stage select with only 4 Robot Masters, and the first thing I have to say about these stages is that the music is on point. I mean, they sound really darn close to their NES counterparts, and it's probably the best game in terms of transition from NES to Game Boy, seeing as the stage hazards and enemies were perfectly brought over as well. This is a great improvement over Mega Man 2, since that soundtrack, albeit it had some great arrangements and original music from the returning Robot Masters, were very high-pitched and irritating on the ears. We've even got some other quality-of-life improvements, such as an actual stage select after the middle stage. Also, for some reason, we get a giant Susie fight in the middle stage before we get access to the second stage select. Boy, these games sure keep surprising me. I thought Mega Man 8 was the only classic game that actually did a midway stage. Finally, I'm able to tell what bosses I'm going after to continue the weakness chain. Oh wait, it's a separate weakness chain. Guess I'll just take on Dustman with the Mega Buster again. Although he's really not too hard. A shame this game doesn't start with Toadman, but we'll get to that pushover again in the next game. The Mega Man 4 stages also replicate the music extremely well. I love how the Game Boy really was powerful enough to do NES quality games. It's just weird that most games that were adapted from the home console were usually garbage. I mean, look at stuff like the Castlevania Adventure or Ninja Gaiden Shadow. These are completely inferior to the NES versions that they were based on, but Mega Man, only nitpicking the first few titles, were pretty spot on starting from here. That just tells you that this series was always high quality, a few titles notwithstanding. After those 4 other Robot Master stages, we get another boss fight against the second model of the Mega Man killers, Punk. Punk is pretty neat actually. His weapon, the Screw Crusher, is actually a metal blade with the arch of an axe from the Castlevania series. Unfortunately, we've got the same problem here as the last 2 games where we only get to use the killer's weapon in the final stage, but I'm used to it by this point. But I really do want to get this weapon earlier in the middle stage rather than having to fight 2 giant Susies. You could have still used that boss in the Wily stage, but put Punk all the way back in between the 2 stage selects. You could have used that and given us that weapon to give us an in on the second stage select for the weakness chain. But this is probably the biggest problem with the handheld games that I really wish wasn't there, but it is, so oh well. Hopefully they'll fix it with the next game. Oh, crap. I already played Mega Man 4 on Game Boy. The Wily section of this game is also pretty freaking short. Final boss is easy and the credits roll. I don't think I'm going to be playing this one again, to be honest. It's a bit too easy for a Mega Man game and really doesn't seem worth your time if you've already played the NES games. I guess with foresight I could say that the same thing was for Dr. Wily's Revenge, and Game Boy Mega Man 2 is the only one I can give a reason to playing it, and that's just for the trash soundtrack, which I've said before, that you can just listen to remixes and make it bearable and great on YouTube. Just don't bother unless you have $5 to spend on the 3DS eShop, in which case, go ahead, if you're curious. Fortunately, this game is definitely a great one for the Game Boy. If you haven't played it already, it's on the Nintendo 3DS eShop for $4.99, just like I said in the last video. All 5 of them are on there for $4.99 a piece, so you can pick up the whole lot for $25 and have yourself a grand old time. I definitely really liked Mega Man 3. The gameplay was just like Mega Man 2, so it was basically the same great stuff. Charge Shot was great, and I really liked how the music basically sounded like the NES versions. So, big props to everybody who's developed this game and then made this one. Next time, we're going to be looking at Mega Man 4, and they actually take some detours with this one to change it up a bit compared to the other 3. So I'll see you guys next week for Mega Man 4. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. As always, my Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon are in the description. Also, I'd like to engage with you guys a bit more, and I don't usually ask for comments, but I'd like to hear your experiences with the Mega Man series. Have you gotten the chance to play this one, or any of the other Game Boy Mega Man titles? Go ahead and tell me in the comments below. I love hearing about other experiences with this franchise, so I'm looking forward to it. See you guys next time for Mega Man 4 next week.